Welcome, brethren. For this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of ways to eliminate input delay in Fortnite Chapter 3. I made one other video on how to reduce input delay, but for this video, I'm going to include some of the newest and best ways to optimize your game for the least amount of delay possible. I need to make this video so I can show you guys how to make your game run smooth like butter. Make sure to like the video if you enjoy and comment how much better your game feels after these tips. But without further ado, let's get right into the first optimization. Okay, so we're going to start off by looking at your in-game Fortnite settings. We're going to go in depth, so don't worry. You might have not expected a surprise coming up. Now, what I have on screen are the best settings for performance mode. However, there are some hidden settings. If you want to access these hidden settings, you want to switch to DirectX 11 or DirectX 12. I learned this from a guy named Slyjack, and he covered this information in one of his recent videos that actually blew up. He makes really good short tips and tricks videos. He talked about and showed how the settings you use on DirectX 11 and DirectX 12 affect your game and input delay while on performance mode. As you can see, currently I'm on performance mode, and if you look at the top left of my screen, you will see M240Hz, U on, and B on. Now the Hertz you can find at the top of your settings, but the other two you will not be able to find on performance mode. Now, where could they be? Boom, now I'm on DirectX 11. Once you're on DirectX 11, you want to head your advanced graphics settings. When you're done with all the settings I give you, you're going to eventually want to switch to performance mode. Just keep that in mind. You want to have this off, VSync and motion blur, just turn them off. They give you so much delay. It's bad. It's really bad. And show FPS, you can really do whatever you want with it. I prefer to have it off, but I have it on just for the video. Now, for loud multi-threaded rendering, you can have this on or off depending on how many cores your PC has. Now, if you want to check how many cores your PC has, you want to tab out of Fortnite, go to Task Manager, click on Performance, and look at CPU and one of these other tabs. Now at the bottom right, you'll see cores. Now if you have less than 4 cores, you want to have multi-threaded rendering off. And if you have more than 4 cores, so 4 or more, you want to allow multi-threaded rendering on. I have more than 4, so I'm going to leave this on. Now you want to turn off GPU crash debugging, as all it does is send a report to the developers whenever your game crashes, but it gives you delay, as you can see in the description. Now the next setting, you want to normally have latency markers off since it increases delay and decreases frames, but I have it on so I can show you guys the UNB options on the top left, which you can only change on DX11 or DX12. Now, how do you change the UNB options and what is best? Now if I go down here in the NVIDIA REFLEX low latency and turn it off, then you will see the UNB are turned off. If I turn it on, then you will see the U is on and the B is off. This means that the U stands for NVIDIA REFLEX low latency and the B stands for boost. Now if you want options U and B on, then you want to turn on plus boost. It's a lot of ons. Now here's the weird part. If I go back and turn it off, they go to performance mode, which means I have to restart my game. As you can see, I've actually restarted and the UNB are still off. This means that the hidden settings inside DX11 are affecting your input delay while in performance mode. Now I wonder why Epic did this, because this causes a lot of people who are on performance mode with the wrong DX11 settings to be worse off than if they were on DX11 or DX12 with the right settings. Now let me also add in, this isn't just good for the on plus boost setting, this also goes for any setting on DX11 and DX12 that you cannot change at performance mode. So we're going to head back to DX11 and turn on plus boost, since it is the option and gives us the least amount of delay. We're also going to change the other settings that I haven't mentioned already that you cannot change in performance mode. And you're going to turn all of these at the lowest setting possible, all the way from view distance or post processing. None of these matter that much except for view distances and textures, but guess what, you can change those in performance mode, so it doesn't really matter that much. As long as you have all these at the very bottom, that's all you need for now. So now heading back to advanced graphics, I wanted to touch on NVIDIA REFLEX low latency a little bit more. This will be a little bit geeky, but stay in touch. Having it on turns on NVIDIA REFLEX, and what NVIDIA REFLEX does is it basically eliminates the GPU render queue. Normally, whenever your keyboard, mouse, or controller do something, your CPU will make the frame and send it over to the render queue for the GPU to render the frame, and then it will put it on your monitor screen. So think of an action in a game, such as swinging the pickaxe, just this simple little action. The entire process of the frames having to go and render has to happen multiple times for each and every single frame that takes place during this single pickaxe swing. Now imagine it having to do it multiple times. Now what NVIDIA REFLEX does is it just gets rid of the render queue, meaning your CPU is in sync with your GPU because of Reflex. And basically that makes your game run a lot smoother and a lot faster several fold. Now having this setting on just does so much good. Imagine if you have it on plus a boost. Now what on plus boost does is that it forces your GPU to clock at higher speeds, which help in CPU reliant games such as Fortnite. Fortnite. This means that on plus boost, which is a setting that a lot of people don't know about, actually takes off a lot of pressure from your CPU and puts it on your GPU instead. Now this causes your game to feel super good and makes the input delay minimal as hell. But yeah, that's NVIDIA REFLEX low latency, and as you should be able to tell, it's a very important setting. The next setting is DLSS. If you don't know what this is, it practically explains it inside the description. DLSS is deep learning super sampling, which renders the pictures with fewer pixels. There are 4 settings: off, performance, balance, and quality. And if you notice, the 3D resolution is forced down a little and gets locked, and so is anti-aliasing. This causes your game to look worse. However, if you want minimal delay, you can turn this on to performance. Though, it won't help your game a whole lot, and it will just make your game look bad. Personally, I have it off though. For window mode, you want to have full screen, as this affects your game severely. Next, if you play competitive, then you want to have your FPS capped at your monitor's refresh rate, or in other words, your monitor's hertz. My monitor's refresh rate is 240, so I have my FPS capped at 240. SlideJack says you should have your frame rate limit on unlimited, but this is only if you're in creative. If you're playing any pubs or anything competitive, your frame drops will drop severely. Like, they will suck. They will just keep dropping, and your PC will just suck from there on. This means that your gameplay will be affected negatively. I hope you should be able to tell that. So yeah, that's all the settings that affect performance mode, except for latency markers, which I mentioned before. I only have them on for the video. So for now, you want these off. Now all that's left to do is head back to performance mode, as it is the best rendering mode for getting rid of delay. Next up, we're going to talk about a program called timer resolution, or timer res for short. Basically, it's this little thing right here, and all it does is half your delay. Very simply. Even in some cases, it can actually cut it down to 1/3 of the original delay, which is very good for your PC. Pros like Kanata have used this in the past, and here's Liquid Stretch commenting on it, apparently saying it's overpowered. Now this is an old tweet. However, Epic Games cannot do anything to change a program that gets rid of delay for your whole PC. This software isn't just for Fortnite, but for anything you use. Actually, it's the first thing I use when I turn on my PC. Now to download this, you just want to go in any browser and type in timer resolution. Click on firehorse.com. You'll see a few things on screen like select version. Now that doesn't really matter in all honesty, so just click free download on the right, extract files, and once you have it on your PC, you just want to load the program, click maximum. Now this is a very important step. Do not exit out of timer resolution. This should be running the entire time you're playing anything or just using your PC, so just minimize the tab, as it will decrease your delay heavily. If you exit out of it, you will not receive the benefits of timer resolution, as delay will go back to what it was before. Now, very important tip for decreasing delay, you should also want to have all your drivers up to date for your NVIDIA's graphics card. So all you want to do is load GeForce Experience, head to drivers. At this top right, if you have any drivers available, it will say download. Click on that. Once you click on it, it should start downloading. Once it's done, it should give you 2 options: express installation and custom installation. Make sure you choose express installation and just wait for it to finish, and then once it's done, you're chilling. Now this last setting I'm going to give you guys is actually probably the most important one out of any of the tips I'm going to give you guys, so make sure you listen to this one at the very least. So all you want to do is head over to the video control panel, wait for it to load, head over to adjust image setting with preview, make sure you have use advanced 3D image settings, click take me there, it'll take you to manage 3D settings. Now you want to do is copy all these settings, which most likely are just off or to have high performance mode on. So image scaling off, ambient occlusion off, anisotropic filtering off, anti-aliasing, FXAA off, anti-aliasing gamma correction off, anti-aliasing mode off. Anti-aliasing actually gives you a lot of delay, so make sure to have anything to do with that off. Background application max frame rate off, CUDA GPUs off, CUDA GPUs all, DSR factors off, low latency mode you can have on or ultra. You should really test it out yourself and just see whatever you prefer. Max frame rate off, modern technology, fixed refresh, multi-frame sampling AA, MFAA off, open rendering GPU. You want to choose whatever graphics card you're using. Power management mode, prefer maximum performance, preferred refresh rate, highest available, shader cache size, driver default, texture filtering, anisotropic sampling optimization on. Anything with optimization you make sure you want to have on. Texture filter negative, LOD bias allow, texture filtering quality high performance, texture filtering trilinear optimization on, theta optimization on, optimization, triple buffering off, VSync, vertical sync. Hold up, why is this like this? You should have this off. VSync sucks. Always have that off. Virtual reality pre-rendered frames 1, virtual reality variable rate super sampling off. Apply, and then you should all be set. Overall, these are some of the best ways to decrease your input delay in Fortnite Chapter 3. So if you guys enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. If you guys have any issues or technical difficulty, just comment them down below. Either me or someone else will definitely help you out if possible. By the way, you guys will definitely see more tips just like these to help with delay and other Fortnite optimization, but later on with the channel I'm playing such a variety content, which means I will be recording myself play different games like horror games and different popular games like Horror's Kenshin or PewDiePie. Those type of people, I'm trying to build content like that. That kind of content is very fun to me. I'll leave a comment down below with one of my videos I've recorded personally. It's me playing a horror game, and just comment your opinions on the video and comment your opinion on the idea of switching to variety content in the future. By the way, don't worry, I will be sure to give you guys every single tip I can regards to Fortnite before I make the perfect switch. With all that being said, I hope you all have a blessed day.